Errin, 8 states now have abortion on the ballot, including battlegrounds like Arizona and Nevada. How much does this help Democrats in those states?
Yeah, well, first of all, Stephanie, thank you for giving me something to do now that I'm going through Olympics watching withdrawal. I really appreciate coming on here to hang out with you guys.
Same.
It's a lot. It's a lot, but we're going to get through this. So listen, yeah, we actually have an explainer up at the 19th on where abortion is going to be on the ballot in states across the country. Arizona and Missouri, the latest to join that list. I mean, Arizona's a swing state, but Trump won Missouri by 15 points in 2020. So obviously, with abortion literally on the ballot, these ballot measures so far have gone undefeated. But we are in a very different landscape this year. You talked about really just some of those harrowing, really tragic cases, the ectopic pregnancies, the dozens and dozens of women who are having just these horror stories in the emergency room. Like, these stories are continuing to unfold in this just uncertain and rapidly changing landscape across the country. So for anybody who thinks that abortion is not going to be on the ballot in 84 more days, like, this is something that is on the minds of women voters and frankly, the families that they are connected to going into the ballot box this November. So, I mean, you talk about voter enthusiasm in Arizona. Look at how many signatures they gathered. If that enthusiasm holds up, that measure is going to have no problem getting through, at least in that state. So it'll be really interesting to see if these folks that are pushing these ballot measures continue to have success in the way that they already have in other states that we have seen with these initiatives on the ballot.
Gabe, I'm not even sure what you do for a living, but I just thought Debenedetti was the best last name, and I wanted to have you on. And I could tell when I read it, you were from the Garden State. Tell us, what do you think about abortion now on 8 states?
Yeah, true on all of the above. I am from the great state of New Jersey, but these days I'm focused especially on these swing states. You know, as Errin said, you look at states like Nevada and Arizona in particular. Those are states that are obviously going to be very tightly competed for in the next few weeks, next few days even. I was on the ground in Arizona just a few weeks ago reporting on the effort to get this measure on the ballot. You can just feel the energy on the ground. And obviously, even before she became the official, the candidate, Vice President Harris was the point person for the administration talking about this stuff. And listen, there's a reason that ballot measures on abortion rights, in particular reproductive rights more broadly, have won in race after race ever since the fall of Roe v. Wade. Democrats in particular are, careful about tying this too closely. They don't want this necessarily to be seen as a partisan issue, but there's no mistake that the Democrats are the ones who see an obvious upside to aligning themselves with these ballot measures. Obviously, you see it in a number of ads that the Harris campaign is, or the Biden campaign certainly, and now the Harris campaign is starting to run. So this is going to be front and center.
Hans, we heard Governor Walz talking about abortion today, and he said it is all about freedom. That is their new word. They've moved from democracy to freedom, but they're using it as it relates to abortion access. What do you think of that argument?
Well, Harris has always used that language, but now that Harris is sort of the lead of the campaign, the presidential candidate, the shift is more pronounced. To me, the interesting question here isn't necessarily about 2024 and the presidential. It's about Missouri. Now, maybe Donald Trump is going to lose Missouri. Seems unlikely. Democrats aren't acting like it. But we'll be able to take that 15-point delta, the margin of victory that he had in 2020. And if he comes in under that in 2024 because of this abortion access right, the sort of constitutional amendment is on the ballot, that will give us maybe a hard number for just how many points it's worth. Because ever since Kansas, right, Republican Kansas passed in 2022, the constitutional amendment affirming a right to reproductive rights, to reproductive care, the outcome of these votes really isn't in doubt, right? Everyone kind of knows where the public is going to go. The question is, how much turnout does it drive for the Democrats? And Missouri, again, not in play, but Missouri is potentially going to give us an answer there.
I like that. Errin, VP Harris is going to be unveiling more policy specifics this week. You covered her run in 2020. In what areas do you think she could break away from President Biden, and should she?
Well, I mean, I just want to go back to one point you were making about Governor Walz and just how he is speaking about reproductive care, not just abortion, but the issue of IVF, talking about his personal story. It matters that you have a man, a father, talking about this issue on the campaign trail, making it clear that reproductive care is not just a women's issue, it's also an economic issue. And so, that is really something that Vice President Harris has also stressed, that abortion is not just about health care, that it is also about people's household economics. And so I think that certainly is a tie that she has already been making on the campaign trail, that I think that she will continue to make, just the issue of what it means for women to have access to this care, in terms of how that means they can participate in the workforce, how they can participate in our democracy. Like, it is directly related to freedom, as she mentioned earlier, but also she's been talking about, kind of the Biden-Harris record on the economy, particularly for Black Americans, for people with small businesses, for people who are trying to start small businesses, in terms of the home ownership piece. She has certainly been talking about that. So, I think continuing to stress that systemic racism and addressing systemic racism, particularly with respect to the economy, is also something that she has made a strong case on, and I think you'll continue to see her make a strong case on. So there are many kind of areas where she can also use her lived experience to talk about, what it means to have an economy that is working for everyday Americans.